It's Sunday slot car fun again, and here we are. Another week's gone by, and what I have to talk about this week is about what I've been doing. And I've actually been doing a lot of work on slot cars. I haven't been doing much play on the track and that kind of thing, or buying new cars because I'm so busy trying to get my T51 Cooper on the market. Well, at least on my store at my website, which they should be on there next week. As you can see by the pictures going up, I have 3 bodies cast so far. I can probably average about 2 or 3 a day, more if I really pushed it, but I'm going to build up to about 10 or 15 of them by next week. I'll have pictures up of the finished car, which I still need to do. I need to finish the car. I'll be working on the decals today for it. The decals will be on white water slide paper. You have to cut them out because I don't have the kind of printer that prints white. So, and on the Cooper, it's white anyway. It's white stripes and white circles and black numbers, so it lends itself well to that, and I think they'll work out quite well. There will be a line that you can follow to cut. And you can paint the car either in green or blue, whatever your preference is. I'm including, of course, the steering wheel, the seat, but the driver you have to get from Mark Tyler at Immense Miniatures. Yay! The best place to go for track decor and for, I can't lift that off. That's his gas pump, which is really cool. But he has things like that, but mainly it's the figures and the drivers, and he has them in all configurations, standing up, by side the car, all famous drivers, very recognizable characterizations of the faces, really good portrait sculptures. Sterling Moss looks like Sterling Moss, Graham Hill looks like Graham Hill, Jackie Stewart, and the rest, they look like the drivers, honestly, in 1/32 scale, right up close. They're incredible. So again, and we're going to have a frame made for it by Elliot Brown, my friend, who's going to do a brass edge frame. But a lot of you have your own frames, you've told me, so that's fine too. So of course, as I said last week, this will be a body kit. I'm trying to benchmark what the price will go for. I want to be competitive with everyone else, or not competitive, or at least in the same ballpark. And then later you can get the frame if you want, or you can buy the car and the frame together. So I'm going to offer those 3 things separately. What I did this week was I finalized the mold, and I showed in 3 parts making the mold. I think I started with making the actual mold, which was the 3rd pass, maybe it was the 4th pass on the Body Master, and then from that mold, making a core, and then making the first body. In the first part, you see how I take the Master and put keys in it and set it up for a mold for production that will incorporate a core. And the core, of course, for those of you that aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, the core is a displacement plug that allows every body I cast to come out the same thickness and have the same thin areas to push out to be able to put in your suspension, the cockpit, the exhaust. And as I'm talking, you can see the pictures going by of what I'm talking about. And some clips. I'm running some clips of some of the things that are covered in those videos. You can see how I poured the resin into the mold. The first one I did, I poured it in and I put it in a pressure pot, and it came out great. No bubbles, no problems. And then I thought to myself, you know, because I've done so much slosh pouring without ever doing that and getting always perfect copies, because I use the powder inside the mold, which really makes the resin slide around very easily and roll over the surface, and there's no bubbles ever. So I said, hey, I'm gonna just pour some in the mold and slam it shut and see what I get. What did I get? I got a perfect body. So I can do it that way each time, which saves me a little bit of time and not having to use the pressure pot. So that was really, really cool. The mounting posts came out great. They're very small because there's not a lot of room inside that little F1 car. You're gonna have to use very small screws to attach, but there's 2 posts. On some of my cars, you have 1 post, and it holds it pretty well with a cigar-shaped body, but I thought it'd be good on this one to have 2. So decals will come with the kit as well, and I just have to benchmark it over the weekend and figure out what I'm going to charge for it. But you'll be able to buy them. There'll be a PayPal button on the website. So that's been pretty much my week. There's also been the tire barriers, and what I did is I made a mold of some tires. I've got tons of them. I think we all do, and I'm going to do. Sorry, Home Racing World, I just knocked you over. I'm going to do is I'm going to make molds off the different size tires and have different tire barriers. Some from more vintage era where the tires are narrower, some are fatter, some have tread, some don't have tread. So in time there will be different tire barriers that you can get. But for now, the tire barriers you're seeing on the screens are the one that I'm going to release. They will be in red, they will be in white, and they will be in black. And you can see in this one picture I've tinted the rubber, which is inside the mold, and it's black. So, and when it comes out of the mold, it'll be black. So that's what I've been doing all week, and that's taken up the whole week to do that. It's a lot of work to make a production mold, and then make a core, and then run some tests to make sure they come out right, and then also getting prepped to do the tire barriers. Next week I'll start getting to the T51 Cooper, because I've had a lot of you write in and say, I want that T73. In fact, I think some of you want that more than you want the older Cooper. But I will be getting to that next. But that one's already molded, so I just have to do a new mold that will allow me to do a core for it. And then everything else I have, steering wheels and exhaust and all that kind of stuff, so that'll be happening. That pretty much covers it this week. As always, I'm going to run a car on the track to finish off the show. And this particular car was sent to me by a gentleman from, I believe, Spain. If you're watching, please write. I've asked you before and tell me your name. He was very kind. When he found out I actually own this car, which is a Fiat 850 Coupe. Mine was converted to an OTS. Ferrari red paint job, lowered. I didn't have mini lights, but I had something like them on the car. You can see the pictures as I'm talking about it. And I always loved that car. Mark Tyler remembers the car, and I want to change this into the car I once owned, because it's exactly the same body. I just had a more powerful engine in it, a nice Stebro exhaust system, if you remember those. It was really a trick car. I had custom seats inside and a Momo wheel. And one day I was driving home from flying radio-controlled gliders, and suddenly, as I was on the freeway coming back after some very nice flying, I felt this sudden acceleration, as though someone dropped a V8 in the thing and hit full throttle. And it started to turn out of control. I didn't fight the car. It's the worst thing you can do in a situation like this, because I was doing about 65, and I was accelerating up to probably 75, 80 miles an hour after I was hit by a Mack truck who did not stop. He hit me and kept going. And I spun out violently into the center divider on the freeway, facing into oncoming traffic. The car was complete total. I could barely get out of it. People were trying to keep me in, but the ignition was on. There was gas leaking. It was totally destroyed. And for some reason, I was okay, although my legs were badly injured and bruised. I could walk, and I was able to get out of the car after I bent the steering wheel up my lovely Momo and got out. And I always missed that car. I never got another one after that accident. In fact, for years I didn't have a sports car at all, which is not like me. I've always had a sports car. So for a few years I didn't have one. I got some big trucks. I felt safer in those. But as you know now, I have my Z, and that's a bit bigger sports car than this. And in parting you, I got a new t-shirt. Yeah. I love this t-shirt. This again is from Blip Shift. And like Dave, I have no affiliation with them, other than a few emails I've had back and forth and they're interested in a piece of artwork I'm doing that's my Z, they want to put it on a t-shirt, and if I give them the right kind of art, I'm working on that now. So I have talked back and forth to them, but this strictly is just me saying, hey, this is a great place to get some t-shirts, car t-shirts. Every day they have a new one, like Dave said. Just subscribe to them, that's what I do. And every day they pop one up, and if I see something I like, vintage like me, of course we all know what track that is, right? Yeah, Le Mans. And of course it's a Ford GT, duh. The original Ford GT, you know, the one I love the best. And so if I see something I like, if it's vintage, you know, like some of the other ones you've seen me wear, I hit that button. They're 16 bucks, and they take a while to get to you because they print them up as they get ordered, and they only do short batches, but they're great. Blipshift.com. And like I said, I'm not being sponsored by them or anything either, but they're great people and they make great shirts, and go check them out. You won't be disappointed. You'll start collecting them like I have. So anyway, let's run this car on the track, and we'll call it a Sunday Slot Car Fun Day. Thanks everyone for all your support. Thanks for all the likes and the amount of views, and just all the wonderful comments. I mean, the comments are amazing. I really appreciate it very much. Okay, this is a Scalextric, a very old vintage Scalextric that was sent to me by a friend on Facebook. It says C850TC on it, SCX. The motor says RX4 Tech Toys, and it's got Scalextric on the windshield, but the body is really accurate to what I had. I did not have these lights up here, but I did have two fog lights right here, and the back part was black, and it was all Ferrari red. I actually got Ferrari red paint and put it on it. It was wonderful. And so he sent me this car, and amazingly, well, you know, it runs pretty darn good. It needs some fancy tires on it. Of course, I haven't cleaned them. Okay, tires are clean. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It has a problem with that corner, or maybe it's me. Whoa, well, you know, my Fiat 850 was pretty fast. It wasn't that fast. So this could use a new slot guide, but you know, for stock and for being an older car, it really does a good job. Wow, this is kind of fun. I only ran it a couple of times after I got it. I was more interested in just having the car because it's what I owned. But that is so cool. Okay. Slot car fun. Sunday slot car fun. We'll see you next week.